Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
So if I'm watching this and maybe I feel this is maybe my weakness, would you recommend that I maybe hire a coach or maybe just find an accountability partner who's maybe a little more successful than I am, or what would you recommend I would do if I kind of buy into this idea? Where could I start maybe?
Well, I would think you would. For me, I think my advice would be do what I did. Mm-hmm. Again, I was not strong in the detail.
Yeah.
And when I thought about being strong in the detail, I got tired immediately. It's like, just let me go to sleep. So I knew that I would have to get somebody in my life that I would be meeting with on a regular basis that would be able to tell me, take these steps, mm-hmm. and then checking up with me, did you take those steps?
There's actually a guy that I talked to today about you, but he actually is a guy who's in Las Vegas, and he is very good at the details, but he's not good at the sales.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted a guy who could get up there and share with people some principles and was an articulate speaker. And I immediately, I was like, Clay Staires. Boom! But it's interesting because here's a guy who, he had the mastery of details, but as we look at over these traits of these leadership traits, the pleasing personality was the one he was missing.
Yeah,
so I don't
very
think
interesting. I was talking to a gal on the phone today about a company that she's wanting to start. Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to get to her goal. What is your goal? What is the? I'd met her at a speaking engagement earlier this week, and I'd given them an opportunity to set a 48-hour goal. What are you going to do in the next 48 hours? 48-hour action item. And so I'm going, okay, so did you do that? And well, I didn't do this. And so, I'm just hammering away trying to get to this thing. I never did get to it with her. Probably talked to her on the phone for 15 minutes.
Oh, man.
And she just kept like going here and going there. I finally finished up with, okay, it just seems like you're a little scattered. It's going to be very hard for you to build until you get something sturdy, until you get something that's a little bit more stable.
Now I want to ask you, is principle number 10, it's the willingness to assume full responsibility.
Oh.
Napoleon Hill says the successful leader must be willing to assume responsibility for the mistakes and the shortcomings of his followers. If he tries to shift this responsibility, he will not remain the leader. If one of his followers makes a mistake and shows himself incompetent, the leader must consider it is he who failed. If I'm somebody who, admittedly, let's say, is struggling with this idea of the willingness to assume full responsibility, what would you recommend that I do, or how would I go about doing that?
Right. Well, there's 3 things I want to talk to you about on that, Clay. First of all, rather than taking responsibility, I would play the victim.
Oh yeah.
People do this all the time, and I know that I'm playing the victim when I begin with the excuses. Well, it wasn't my fault, it was this, it was that, it was this thing, it was the one-armed man, and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't my fault, and I come with excuses.
Yeah.
So first of all, what we've got to be able to do is as soon as we begin to feel those excuses come up out of our mouth, realize, wait a minute, that's me not taking responsibility. And we arrest ourselves at that moment. Again, it's going back to that discipline mm-hmm. that we were talking about, that self-control, not allowing ourselves to go and play the victim. And the second one, Clay, is if the victim doesn't work, playing the victim and using the excuses, if that Jedi mind trick isn't working, then I'll go to the second one, all right? Or maybe this is the one, it's my go-to. It's the one I've got in the back pocket that I always pull out. And this is always a fun one. We use manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
And this is simply when we begin to use emotion to get our way. Either I'll get really small and pull the puppy eyes, So you'll think, oh, well, I don't want to hurt him. Or I'll get really big and act angry and kind of puff up and try to force myself. But I begin to use manipulation as a leader. And I'll try to manipulate the people to do something. So again, if to take responsibility, as soon as I begin to get into that place of emotion with people, I go, wait a minute, that's me not wanting to take responsibility. Just back out of that thing and go, you're right, I need to do this, as opposed to blaming other people or using emotion to get my way. And then the third one, if all else fails, I simply go to distraction. And that's just other stuff. Yeah, I didn't do that, but look at everything else that I did. Yeah, I didn't do that one thing you told me to do that you said was really important. If I didn't do it, I'd get fired. But look at everything that I did do. And a lot of times those other things that I did do really may not have been really important. They may have been just smaller things. But I will point at them and try to act like, but look how productive I am when I really didn't do what I was supposed to do. And so once again, if I'm doing that as a leader, then I'm coming in and I'm telling people, yeah, we didn't get the things done that I was wanting to get done, but I would start looking at some other points and other things that have gotten done. And Clay, I've had in all three areas people leave me because I would use these different Jedi mind tricks with folks.
So, I mean, you've recognized in your own life, I mean, so you're pretty self-aware. I mean, you've recognized that you no longer could point the blame somewhere else. You had to accept responsibility for where you were in life?
Oh, totally. Because what I began to find was when I would do these, people they lost confidence in my leadership. They didn't feel like I was really going to be able to get myself, the company, or them where we were wanting to get. Because if I started to make a mistake or if things weren't working out, I would go to excuses or I would manipulate them, and a lot of times with me, I would just manipulate using my real pleasing personality that we were just talking about a second ago. Hey, and I would come in and get the smile, but hey, don't I look good? Don't you love me? Type of thing, and try to manipulate.
Clay, the final point that Napoleon Hill brings up here as he talks about these attributes of leadership, these principles of successful leadership, is he says cooperation. That's the final one. The successful leader must understand and apply the principle of cooperative effort and to be able to induce his followers to do the same. Leadership calls for power, and power calls for cooperation. If I'm struggling to, if I want to be a leader, and I look back and no one's following me. I mean, if I'm a business owner, I'm struggling there to get a spirit of cooperation going. What kind of action steps can I do, or how can I build a spirit of cooperation in my organization?
Man, that's a huge question, because once again, if there's no one following you, then don't be calling yourself a leader. And I was just talking to a gentleman on the phone today who has just stepped into management. He is the assistant fire chief in a small town in Oklahoma, in Kellyville, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so, and it's a volunteer fire department. And so he's going, Clay, I said, hey, before we get off the phone here today, Jeff, is there anything I can do? Are you struggling with anything? Is there anything in your leadership position that I can help you with? And he's going, yeah, I'm really having a hard time with all of these volunteers, And I was going, volunteers can be tough, because you can't control them with money. You can't force a volunteer to do anything because they'll just leave. He's going, that's exactly right. How do I get them to do things? So you even use this word cooperation. And the way that we build cooperation with somebody else is there has to be a connection that I have with something inside of you. Whatever's inside of you has to connect with what I'm doing. So I told him, ask people this question. When you are interviewing them or bringing them onto your team, ask them this question. What is your passion? Because if you can tap into somebody's passion, then they will follow you anywhere. But most of the time when we're in an interview scenario, I'm sitting here telling them what the job's going to be like. Here's what you're going to see. Here's what it's going to be like. Here's this. Here's this. In other words, here's me. But if you will stop for a moment and ask the question at the very first, tell me a little bit about what your passions are. then all of a sudden you're saying, well, I love this and I love that and I really love when I'm doing this. In the back of my mind, I'm going, you're never going to get a chance to do this in this office. That is never going to happen. And so to get to this place where there's a win-win is going to be really difficult because I'm not connecting what I have as a company with what you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or to say that a better way, if I limit myself to just giving you a paycheck, then our relationship is going to be pretty shallow. I want you to come to work and do your work. You want a paycheck, and so we stay there. But Clay, if we can move to this place where I understand what your passions and what drives you, and if I as a leader am able to provide those things that drive you, then we will be able to function in a win-win scenario where we are able to do more and more and more things. Now, I've gotten to a place with many of my employees and many of the people that have been in our training school where I've been able to ask them to do extremely difficult things and extremely unpleasant things, but they have done it because we have been in that idea of cooperation.
So to build a sense of cooperation, we really need to find the passion of our team members. That's
right.
what you're saying.
Yeah, and you've got to know your team members.
Well, what I wanted to do, because I don't want to forget to do this, is so important. But as we look at these 11 attributes that Napoleon Hill, Napoleon Hill was the success author who spent almost his entire life studying America's most successful people and asking them how they did it, and then writing a book books to teach people how to do it. But I thought it'd be appropriate if we put up on the screen here these different attributes, and if everyone watching this right now can just kind of marinate on these attributes and actually rate yourself on a scale of, let's just say, A through F. Okay. A being the best and F being the worst. Just go ahead and rate yourself, because the areas where you rate yourself the lowest are the areas obviously where we need to improve. Yeah. And so let's just kind of go through these here one more time. All right. Unwavering courage. How would you rate yourself? A through F on your unwavering courage. Self-control. How would you rate yourself there on self-control? Point 3, a keen sense of justice. Number 4, definiteness of decision. A through F, how do you rate yourself? How would you rate yourself today on your definiteness of decision? Point 5, definiteness of plans. Do you make plans? Do you make the plan and work the plan? Point 6, the habit of doing more than paid for. Is that something that you do all the time, or is it something that you very rarely do and your staff knows it? Point number 7.
And they will know it.
And they will bring it up.
Yes, they will know it. And if they don't bring it up to you, they'll bring it up to each other when you're not in the room.
That's right. Now, a pleasing personality.
Oh.
And again, that one's the one that almost nobody I've ever met gives themselves low marks there. They're always like, well, my personality is pretty much my strong suit. I've done it, you've done it, we've probably all done it. But sometimes our personality it's not gelling with the people we need it to gel with. Point number 8, sympathy and understanding. Rate yourself on that. How well are you doing right now at being sympathetic and understanding to the needs of your team? A little caveat, not everybody's right for every company. So sometimes you don't need to be sympathetic to everybody because they might not be the right people for your team. But if you have the right team members, you need to be sympathetic. You need to show you care. Point number 9, mastery of the detail. Rate yourself on that scale of A to F. Point number 10, willingness to assume full responsibility. Rate yourself on a scale there of A to F. And the final one, as you just articulated, cooperation. Rate yourself on a scale of A through F. How good are you at being able to kind of entice others to cooperate and to work in a spirit of harmony and to work together to achieve a common goal there? Clay, I know that you could probably be anywhere in the world right now. You travel all around the country, and you've spoken at events where Gary Vaynerchuk has spoken, the famous success author, and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. But you've chosen to be here and to invest your time into mentoring the Thrive community and to people who are really wanting to move from where they are to where they want to be. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for taking your time and being here with us tonight.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks, Clay.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. and we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also, we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest salon company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten. People really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Colaw with Colaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like him most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you. And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.